Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday afternoon. It's just about 12:30. It's a very misty, dreary day here in the Kansas City area. Everybody's celebrating a Royals victory, and that's the talk of the town. I do remember in 1985 and in 1980, both times when the Royals went to the World Series, it was very exciting. The atmosphere is very electrifying. We've had quite a drought as far as our sports teams here, and the Chiefs apparently are doing really well. I'd sort of given up on both of them quite some time ago, so I really hadn't been following them. But it is really nice to have your sports teams be successful. So I talked yesterday about going out to, I was going to go to Walmart and check out the exercise bicycles, which I did this morning. I was there before they opened up the one door. The other door you have to go through the grocery section. But I didn't even have a cart, and I wandered back there, and I was really disappointed with the exercise bicycles that I saw there. And so I looked around and I picked up a few things in the grocery section. I picked up some Weight Watcher products, and we'll go over those in just a minute what I got. But I just wanted to say, then I came home and I did some research at QVC on Groupons and at Walmart.com and Amazon as far as exercise bicycles. And so I'll just, I think I'm going to end up having to purchase one mail order. But I did see a old Sears bicycle yesterday when I was in the thrift shop, but it was so filthy. I could not even put my hands on it. It was so filthy. So I keep thinking, well, if I can wait till Christmas, maybe Santa will bring me one, but I really don't want to wait that long. So I did follow up on that, and I was disappointed when I came home. I really hoped I'd have one with me so I could begin that regiment this week, but it's not going to happen. So I said that I had bought some Weight Watcher products, just a few things, their breakfast burritos, their ice cream cups, their salted caramel ice cream bars, and I actually bought very little. I looked at the books and the magazines and such like that. We're doing like a basket at work. We put together themed baskets and we raffle them off, and we raise money for to adopt a family for Christmas. And we do generally adopt from some of our employees there at work who are having a difficult time. So last year we adopted several families. One of the families, he was going through a difficult time. He's going through a divorce, and he has 4 kids. And last year, his youngest daughter slipped off of the porch while he was mowing the grass and cut off her foot. And they got her foot reattached, and she's doing really well. I think Gracie's, about 4? So it was really a difficult time. Everybody was quite concerned about her. But everybody pulled together, and we got them through Christmas. So it's nice to help our own. So I went off on a tangent there. We're doing a theme superheroes in the department that I'm in. So I was looking at the different kind of superhero things. I saw some onesie pajamas for adults. I saw games. No, I didn't see any games. I saw Legos, and I saw movies, and so, but anyways, that being said, so I did find something different in the Weight Watcher line. I haven't been buying a lot of the prepared foods. I've been making my own lately, but I ran across this soup, this loaded potato soup, and it looked really good, 4 points, and I thought, I'm going to try that. We'll see how good it is. I think this is a new product. I could be wrong on that, but so that was one of the new things. And then last night I made baked chicken, and I don't know if you remember this from the Aldi's shopping trip that I made. This is the Spanish quinoa brown rice mix. I made that last night as a side. It wasn't very good. So I think it needs some salt. But this made 2 servings, and my husband didn't even eat the other serving. So it's in the ice box. So I'll probably take that to work tomorrow with one of the pieces of chicken that I baked last night. So this was 7 points for 1 serving. So, and it was easy. It was really easy to prepare. It's just didn't like the taste. I don't know whether it was the seasonings or what it is. I thought that the quinoa would be better with the rice, but I think it's really the seasonings. So I've got that one box there. I'll probably make that at some future time, but not soon. I did make the kale chips that I talked about yesterday. Kale is a leafy vegetable, like a real leafy. It looks like some of the leafy lettuces, but the leaves are much sturdier, have a lot more body to them. And I had a 10-ounce bag of cleaned and cut kale, and when I got done with it all, this is all. I mean, it shrank half the size, at least half of the size in the oven. What you're doing is you're basically drying it out or dehydrating it without the benefit of a dehydrator. But I used the racks on my oven, and I lined them with foil, sprayed them with the olive oil cooking spray, laid my kale down a single layer of it. Then I took the spray, sprayed over it so that when I put the kosher salt on, that it would stick. I baked them in a 250 oven for about 45 minutes and pulled them out, and they're okay. That's not a lot of taste. They're paper thin. You taste the salt more than anything. The first batch I put too much salt on. The second batch I lightened up on the salt, but there's not a lot of taste. It almost looks like seaweed. Really and truly, it almost looks like seaweed. But it was an interesting experiment, and so I wanted to follow up with that. I also, my new Weight Watcher magazine came. It has Christmas cookies. It talks about a Christmas exchange, and I really haven't thoroughly looked through it, but the baked goods on the front sure looks good. And Best Deals magazine. I'm going to put a link to that on my blog, and I get their weekly newsletter, and they have specials. I've actually get the Weight Watcher magazine. I think the most that I spent for a 1-year subscription is like $4, under $4. and it takes you a while to start getting them. But then I renewed it. I've renewed it twice after the initial subscription, so I've got 3 years coming, and I haven't even spent $12. So, and sometimes they'll have specials where you'll get like 10 or 14% off on top of the price of the magazine. Not all the magazines are that cheap, but the Weight Watcher one, it comes up on sale quite frequently. So I suggest that why spend $12, $14, $16 on a year subscription when you can get it for $4 or under? I think the first time I got it, I paid like $3.20 for a whole year. That's six issues. A fool would, to pay more than that. The other magazine, this is the one I talked about yesterday that I forgot to pay for, and I went back. It's Diabetic Recipes, and I just sort of thumbed through it really quickly. I'm probably going to sit down and look at it today. That's a cheesecake with blueberries on the front, and I thought that looked good. But that, and this was the shirt I was talking about that I got that I really liked. It's a button-down shirt. I actually think it might be a man's shirt. But it's a 2X, and it's green, and it's got hibiscus on it. I liked it. And it's soft. It's one of those nice, soft cotton rayon. Maybe it's just rayon. It's 100% rayon. So it'll wash up really nice. It doesn't need an iron. You just hang it up after you wash it. I had a really good day yesterday. I journaled everything I ate. I had 10.5 points left over at the end of the day. But that was nice. And those Honeycrisp apples that they have in the store, they taste so good. They really do. My husband's been inhaling them. And then today, I had the Weight Watcher breakfast burritos. I had a banana. And I just got done eating one of the Weight Watcher salted caramel ice cream bars. I haven't written that down yet. It's 3 points. So, anyways, I'm happy with that. Except for I haven't had any of my water to drink. But I could tell that last night I hadn't had any water because I started getting the cramps in my legs. And another thing, I was just reading on Facebook some of the posts at Weight Watchers One Day at a Time, I think it is, a group. And I see this quite frequently where people are talking about unsupportive people in their lives. And to me, it's really troubling because my husband doesn't say anything about my weight. He seldom asked me how I did at the scale. Very seldom. My husband married me. I probably wasn't at my heaviest, but I was probably well over 300 pounds when we got married. I was 299 when I started Weight Watchers. So he's very quietly supportive. He actually is attracted to bigger women, and I'll never forget when I asked him, I told him I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to feel better, and he said he would like that. So I never hear bad words come out of his mouth about my weight, and it's distressing to me when women are married to men who do. And I don't know what my advice would be to them when their spouse comes up to them and tells them if they don't lose weight that they'll get divorced. They're going to divorce them. And I think that that's horrible. Because when you get married, if you get married in a church, you know that you, in the vows, it says, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. And I don't want to say that obesity is a sickness. It can cause sickness. But it's definitely, I think that it's really troubling. If my husband said that to me, I think I would have to tell him, as much as I love him, that it was time for him to move on. Because the people who really care about us should be supportive of us, quietly support us. They shouldn't be name-calling. They shouldn't be threatening. You need to keep your eyes at home in your own business. You know, I'm very vocal about the marriage that I'm in. My husband, everyone knows that how happily married I am. How much in love with my husband that I am. I did have something happen on Friday at work that I did not share with you. Actually, it sort of reminded me of that commercial where I think it's My Time or something like that. It's a dating site for older people, and that one fella said, within 10 minutes of being online, I had my first flirt. Well, I'll put it like this. Within the first 55 pounds that I've lost, I had my first flirt. And I didn't know what to say. Because it was quite clear we were talking about some pictures of the eclipse the other night, and I asked the person who took them if they would, send me the pictures. I'd like to share them with my husband, so that my husband would appreciate them too. So when it was clear from up front that I was married, so I went to my very dearest friend, and she has been heavier in her life too, and she had lost hers through Weight Watchers. And I told her what happened, and I said, I'm just flummoxed. I don't know what to say or do. It's very clear I'm a married woman, happily married woman. And she said, Sandy, she said, some men are attracted to women who are married because that alleviates them of any kind of a commitment. And maybe that's so, I don't know. But I said, I hate to think that I have to censor everything that I say. But you could be friendly with someone, and there's no flirtation on my part whatsoever. So, anyways, yeah, I had my first flirt within 55 pounds lost. So, I don't know. This journey has to be for yourself, and people around you are going to say things. Some of them are going to be really hurtful. Some of them might come from your spouse, but you have to be doing this for yourself. It can't be for anybody else, because if it's for somebody else or something else, you're going to fail. You're setting yourself up for failure. So find the joy in the journey, the little things, the joyous things, and just keep your focus, keep your eyes straight ahead, put blinders on. Some people say things out of their pure jealousy, because they don't have the strength or the courage to do what you're doing. So be strong, but be joyous in the journey. It's people want to constantly compare their weight loss story to yours. Everybody's journey is different. Remember that. Your journey is different. The things that you say and you do will motivate someone else. Your story is not somebody else's story. Everybody's is different. And yesterday at the meeting, one of the ladies came up to me, and for 3 years, she's been trying to lose her 10%, and she hasn't. And she told me she had come in late. She wasn't there at the meeting because she thought the meeting was at 8:30 and it was at 8 o'clock. And she said, "You are my inspiration. You're my motivation, but I want to quit." And I said, "You can't quit. It doesn't matter that it takes you 3 years." She goes, "I just think about all the money that I'm spending." And I said, she said, and when I told my husband that, he said, "Well, think where you'd be if you hadn't spent the money." And so he was very supportive, and I told her, I said, "I promise you, well, let's make a promise to one another." I said, "I promise you that I will not quit if you do not quit." And she was paused and she didn't say anything. And I said, "You have to promise me because my word is my bond." And she said, "I promise you." And I said, "Good. That we're not going to quit. We don't care how long it takes us to get to our goal. We are going to do it." And she gave me a hug, and I said, "We're going to be okay. We are going to be okay. We have one another. We have everyone here in this room. We're going to be okay." So I personally was thinking about quitting last week. So God has a way of putting people into my life who need the strength that I have. You have people in your life who need your strength and commitment. And they look at you and they admire you and they try to be like you. They try to emulate you. There are always going to be those haters out there. There's nothing that we can do about that. So just politely smile and move on. It is not a competition. It is your life. It is your story. And your story motivates people. It inspires people. And so that being said, this is much longer than I thought it was going to be. But find joy in the journey. Take one step at a time. And then there are those days that you're going to crawl. And I'm just not going to stop. This is too important. It's too important. I can't give up on myself. Please don't give up on yourself. So, that being said, I'm going to send my love out to you, and we are going to make this a great day. We are going to make this a great week. We are going to go out there and we're going to conquer this. We're going to conquer this. We are going to embrace the journey. Because it's the start of the battle. It's going to be a battle for the rest of our lives. This is a marriage. Maybe not the marriage that we have with our spouse, but this is a marriage. I am married to Weight Watchers. So God bless you. God bless your family. Have a great autumn. Keep a smile on your face, your eyes straight ahead. Keep that inspiration in your heart, that knowledge in your heart that you can do this. You can do this. So God bless everyone.